4, 3, 2. Welcome to the Art of Girl Talk.
It's your kickback with your girls. Babe, what you think about Saturday morning clean, Friday night glass of wine listen?
Warning, this is not a self-help podcast.
Baby, we do not have the answers.
Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Alexis Yvonne checking in. What's good?
Hey Lex, it's Rhea Loren.
Ow!
Oh my gosh. Hi everybody, it's Tyler Evenia, and you know we are back with another episode of the Art of Girl Talk podcast.
Yeah.
All right. We gonna always thank the listeners though, so thank you. Follow, like all the things.
Share.
Everything, every single thing. Okay, so last episode we talked about sex. Today we are talking about self-esteem. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good talk.
It's gonna be, that's just giving deep.
Ooh.
Deep is good.
Oh, okay. We are starting already. That's what I like. I like that.
This is what we need. We need all the deep things.
Okay. Yes.
I'm still in episode 1.
Facts, you are. But as we always promise, we're going to have a special guest, and today we do. We have our girlfriend Tanisha, who is a licensed psychologist, and by girlfriend I mean I'm inviting more girls to Girl Talk. Okay.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, girl.
Hey.
What is
All right.
up?
Tell our listeners a little bit about you.
Sure. So I am a licensed psychologist. I also am a cocktail enthusiast. I like to make cocktails, mix it up a little bit. I'm also a podcaster, so I have my podcast.
Cheers.
Thanks. So I'm glad to be here, glad to be on. But yeah, I'm a licensed psychologist. I work with children and adults in Silver Spring. So I'm glad to be a part of the conversation.
Good
We'd
conversation.
love to have you. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but my girl does love cocktails. I love cocktails. We all love cocktails. But today, we are tasting wine. So, what we got going on?
So, see what had happened was, one day I was in Silver Spring.
You was getting a therapy session by Tanisha?
She's not my office real quick.
Actually.
See, that's confidential. Look at you.
Oh, see?
And I went to this little bar thing, and it said, what's this called? Yeah. The name just left me.
Aperol Spritz, ladies. Aperol Spritz.
Aperol Spritz. And the man took out a can saying, pop. I was like, oh.
Oh, he had Italy on deck.
I thought it was going to be terrible. But when I tasted it, I was like, oh my God, this is great. Do you guys have this? And he's like, yeah. So here we are. It's called Seraluce. Is my Italian correct?
Period. Because I'm from Italy. I think you did good.
All right.
But there you go.
So it's just, an Aperol Spritz in a can. So here we go.
Ooh.
Hey.
The theatrics are always crazy.
All right.
Okay.
Glasses, s'il te
Me
plaît.
first. Here we go.
So we went from Italy to France, but either way, we're here. Oh yeah, we love the sound.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're doing ASMR now? Oh, yeah.
I'm coming. Yeah, this is crazy, but actually, while we're waiting to taste it, I love Aperol Spritz. Love, and I think I drank so many in June that I had to take a break. So this is maybe my 4th one since being back. And I know that sounds crazy, but June was so long ago. So let's cheers.
Ready?
Clink, 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 clink.
Yeah.
All right, here goes nothing. Aperol canned.
Not bad.
I can kill this. All of it by myself, actually. It doesn't have the Aperol-y taste.
What is that?
The Aperol that you actually put
Like
in
medicine?
Aperol Spritz. Yeah, I was going to say, Tanisha's not a fan, actually.
Good.
I'm like, it kind of tastes better at the restaurant. But I've had it. Yeah.
You probably was lit already.
Nah, she wasn't. All right, okay. So we gonna finish this because we got this, and then we going to the next, and then
You don't like it, Lex?
Oh yeah, Lex is never a fan of all
now.
the
That's the
wines.
aftertaste. It's giving aftertaste. It's giving aftertaste right now.
About to give her an aftertaste.
Not of this. And yeah, I'd have told y'all in the palate, I'm an herbalist, so you know.
All right. Well,
We here.
I'm
good.
It's okay.
I'm gonna take it down.
I know that's right. We're still on episode 1, so we're just gonna leave that where it's at. All right, we moving right along, and I know we have stuff to get us started, but I just want to ask this one question since we do have a licensed psychologist on with us. How many of us go to therapy?
So I did do therapy through the app BetterHelp. I did that maybe about 2 years ago, and it was very helpful to me. I would have loved to do like physical sessions with somebody, but that wasn't in my budget. And it just seemed hard to find resources with regard to that. So, and I'm, until you really like are looking for therapy, and it seems like when you really need it, like it's just so hard to find. But
That's true.
I mean,
It is.
it's good.
Even full-time job people have, with insurance, it's hard to find
Right.
people in, what is it called, in scope?
In network.
And
And then you gotta you're gonna be in a very vulnerable position, so you gotta absolutely trust and be open and vibe. Like anything can throw that whole situation off. So
Yeah.
things just gotta be right. That just gotta be your person.
How about you, Ree?
I'm in a on again, off again relationship with therapy.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm in and sometimes I'm out.
Nice.
Has it been beneficial for you? How has it impacted you? What makes you go in and out of the therapy sessions?
That's a good question. I've had moments where it's been really, really helpful. I think sometimes it gets, well, in the past, it's gotten really expensive. Because I usually have to pay a portion out of pocket, and it ends up being like $200 per session. So that is a lot of money for me personally. And I don't know. But also, I do feel like because it's so on again, off again, that makes it less effective. And then I get to this place where like, I'm all right.
Yeah, like I don't need to know
It's
more.
fine.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. I'll be fine.
That makes sense.
So for me, I do therapy. I actually started probably like 2019. And I started virtually. So it was actually like, reached out to her in 2019. We did a little like phone thing, but then the pandemic hit, so I couldn't go in. And then a lot of virtual sessions. And she was fine. I think at the time for what I needed it for, she helped me navigate a few things. But to echo everybody else, she was very expensive. And I just felt like at one point I was like, I could not do this. Like if you think about your $5 Starbucks coffee or your gym memberships and your cable, your Netflix, obviously therapy should be important, but you're like, okay, I got to cut something out. And that was the one thing I cut out. And then moving back to DC, I struck gold because my manager at the time was like, we get free sessions. And I was like, what? I said, what now? She was like, yeah, we get 8 free sessions a year through Spring Health. And you can pick a therapist, and that's really like, it's like speed dating, right? Because you want to make sure you are comfortable, like you said, Lex, with this person. And if not, then you have an opportunity to like change somebody else. And so I got a new therapist, and I wanted to feel like I was in a movie, so I actually did it in person and went to sit on the couch.
Oh, that was like a movie.
That's the experience I wanted for sure.
Yeah, I was like, I want to know what this is like. And so I did that, and I feel like being in person with her had a better connection with her.
Yeah.
We do meet on Zoom like monthly when we connect now, but, well, also around no car, y'all, but that's another story. So I just feel like that's my girl, and that you form that relationship, and I do think it's a better relationship when you do that in person session, even if it's not like all the time. It's like this person. So
That's good.
yeah, I'm an avid therapy girl now.
That's good. I started off with BetterHelp too. Okay. I did it through like the chat, and it was really good. I did maybe about a month, and then I attempted last year to find a therapist for real, like do in person or do virtual, and the journey was difficult. And then I realized like this is probably what my clients go through, of trying to find a therapist who like you build rapport with, that you can connect with. And I had one session with my therapist and it was okay, and I felt like maybe she's listening, maybe she just, I don't know, this is her approach. And then we met again and she was like, yeah, this is your first time. And I'm like, girl, we done had a whole session. Right.
Yeah.
That
So
wasn't
then
your person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was like, yeah, nah. And then, so it to me, it was like perspective of what other people, like my clients go through, of like when it's difficult for them to open up, or when they're like kind of resistant to therapy. Maybe they've gone through different experiences and it hasn't been really good. So, I haven't had good experiences with therapy. So, I try to be a good therapist. I try to portray that. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I got a
actually a
question.
very interesting angle.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
I got a question though. So how has attending therapy, participating in therapy, and being a therapist affected the way you run your practice?
That's a good question. I think it may be like the point of opening up. Like I'm not a person who like opens up automatically. Like I always have a wall up, and it's always been like vulnerability. Like you're not being vulnerable, or you're not expressing your feelings. And then I have a profession where I'm always asking someone to be vulnerable, right? Yeah. And so having the patience to be able to say, well, if you want to sit here in silence, then sit here in silence. Like we have to work towards the point of you trusting me. And that's usually what I tell parents too when I go in, like, because I work with children and adults, but usually with parents, I let them know, like, I know you want all these things to be fixed, but rapport is really important. Like, I have to get your child to trust me, to say, I can sit down and tell Dr. McIntyre all of these things.
Dr. Bay.
And so I think that's one of the things that is informed, that it's not easy to sit and tell someone you don't know all of these things that are going on with you. And so therapy really has to be like your safe space. Like I can come here and just say whatever, and I know I won't be judged. I can get maybe good advice, or I could just be myself, and it's okay. So I think seeing it from the other side helped me to be more patient with clients, and kind of not be frustrated when I'm not getting anywhere. Like this is taking forever.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's really good, because we're about to get into self-esteem, and I think what you just said, like seeing something from the other side, helped me navigate certain things. But I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Yeah. Do y'all think that everybody has bouts with self-esteem issue? Like, is that just everybody does that, or is that like
only us losers?
For sure.
Yeah, is that just a part of the life experience? If you live, you will have a bout with self-esteem.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, everybody's gonna have issues. Well, I can't put that on somebody's life, but that's normal. You're gonna experience feelings. Self-esteem is associated with feelings, how you feel. That's just super normal. Everybody's gonna experience some self-esteem stuff. Now, what you experience is gonna be your experience. That's gonna be your truth, but you're gonna experience something.
Yeah, I do think that everybody has a moment. I don't think that everybody sits in their moment. So that's why you notice that there are probably more confident people than others, and it's probably because they just don't sit in that, and they probably have chosen not to believe the things that they're thinking. And I think that is a part of the process.
Do you think that self-esteem can be blind?
You can be oblivious to it,
right?
That's a different perspective. Yeah.
Like you have self-esteem issues,
but you don't
you're
even
just
know why.
acknowledging.
Yeah, you don't even know how you have self-esteem. Like if somebody asked you how you felt, you couldn't tell them why or how you feel like that. It's like a false confidence. It's not really self-esteem. It's something else. I
never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
But I do. And what I thought you were going with this, I do think that there could be people that choose to naturally just avoid the thing that they know is like their self-esteem issue. Like if I feel like my acne is a problem, and that is a problem to me, so every day I cover it up with makeup because I choose not to acknowledge like this is the real me, and I choose to look like something else because I don't want to face that and sit in that self-esteem issue. That's why I thought you were going with it. But
That too. All these things apply.
I took mine on the chin. Horrible acne, but okay. How about, do you feel like that, Rhea? That everybody will have a moment of self-esteem issues?
Yes, but I do think, because I think maybe this is where you were going with it, or maybe you did and I missed it. I don't know, but like, I think a lot of people don't acknowledge it. Like, don't even accept that that's what it is. I think like self-esteem issues can be like a root thing, and you have symptoms and you don't even acknowledge like the root is like this self-esteem thing. So you could ask people and they could say, I never had any issues with self-esteem, but they have all of these symptoms that haven't been acknowledged.
Mean girl.
It comes out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like being jealous
or
of other
drugs
people
and alcohol,
or doing.
like it goes on and on.
Being
and on
angry
and on.
all the time.
Angry. Yep.
Yeah.
They substituted not existing for their lack of awareness, and it's just them choosing to lack that awareness versus sitting, like you said, facing their problems and getting through it. Because you can tell us more than anybody that you can't just sweep stuff under the rug. It'll come up.
Because I was always also thinking about people overcompensating. Like maybe like they know they have this thing, but they're not confronting it, so they overcompensate in other areas. So they can feel good about themselves in something because they're lacking in this other area.
Narcissism.
Yeah.
Some listeners will probably disagree, but fair's fair.
But yeah.
No, the overcompensating is a true thing, and I know we talked about that in the pilot with like social media and how people leverage that in their self-esteem issues and the over poster to really just put themselves out there because they have a lot of other stuff going on. But yeah, no.
Yeah,
for sure.
So what would y'all say, like, if we're acknowledging that everybody has moments of self-esteem issues, what would be the first moment in life that you dealt with, like, self-esteem? Like, dang, I feel low about myself.
Go ahead. If you want to go.
Well, no, I went deep in the pilot. I can go in a second.
I can't tell you the first issue I had with self-esteem, but I'll tell you one of the most pivotal. You guys don't know this, but I had very large breasts growing up. Like I started developing in elementary school. I want to say maybe the 3rd grade, and I felt like every year they got like a size bigger. It was ridiculous. They were just ridiculously big. I'm a D cup now because I got a breast reduction at 18, and I was a D cup in the 6th grade, and then I was a double D in the 7th, a triple D in the 8th, and literally by the time I turned 18 and I made the decision to get a reduction, my doctors didn't even know what my size was. I asked, I'm like, can you measure and give me an accurate size? Because I've been wearing 2 bras since I was 16. Wow. Every day of my life. You know, and that was major with self-esteem, with me like going to PT at school or just wanting to participate in something active and not feeling like I can because it's going to hurt me. You know, just not being able to wear cute things, stuff that I wanted to wear. It was very, very, very instrumental in my self-esteem. And I didn't feel like I was pretty. I was like the girl with the big breasts. You know, I was just the girl with the big breasts, and I wanted to do stuff like have a matching bra and panty set. You know, like stuff like things, that. And it spilled over even to today. I'm a savage Fenty girl, you know, and I literally like it fulfills me. Okay. It fulfills me to be able to, you know, have that the opportunity to do matching bra and panty sets now, you know, and it's I can't even explain it, you know, because sometimes I still feel like the girl with the big breasts, but you know, then I just kind of gotta wake myself up. We in 2024. It's not 2000.
Everybody want big breasts now. You got people paying for that.
It's nowhere.
And you do got the big breasts of our friend group, girl.
This is true.
That is how it goes, though. Things that you feel insecure about, other people want, or other people glorify, and you're like, I don't like that about myself.
Because the guys are like, you are crazy.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. Like, what?
Titty boys.
And you're like, that's not my experience.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't want these joints. Like, take them up off me when that cycle comes.
Right.
Them things
Now, when the
will
cycle
be 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Come on
crazy.
now. But yeah, that's my little
Okay.
tidbit.
That was a
Thanks
good
for
one.
sharing.
Yeah, that
Of
was
course. My self-esteem on point now.
Okay.
okay.
Ow.
Oh.
Overconfident, babe.
I can
Love
back
it.
my shit up, though.
You what?
Hey, I said I could back my shit up. though.
Okay.
Oh, okay. How about you, Tanisha?
Let's see. I think when I think about self-esteem, I definitely, of course, think about childhood. And I think about a time of like innocence when you're not really self-conscious about yourself and you're just kind of like doing things and you're not really worried about what other people think. And one particular thing I think about is like playing basketball, like in the neighborhood with boys. And don't play basketball. I ain't got no skills. But I was just like, I'm about to go out here, play basketball, whatever. And they was looking at me all weird. But I do remember like I was playing anyways, and then I like fell and I had like mud all on my pants or whatever, and it was kind of embarrassing. But I think that moment brings me back to thinking about what other people think of you and how you can have a lot of confidence and you be ready to do something, and then seeing how the reaction of others can kind of put you in a place of like, well, shit, maybe I'm not ready, or maybe I shouldn't do this. So I really think when I think of self-esteem, it's just about school and like other people looking at me, like, and for definitely like body wise, and like you were talking about body, like, oh, weight and stuff. Definitely weight has always been a thing, like how I look. Because growing up, we was like in the 90s, everybody's skinny.
Yeah. Skinny was the thing.
You're either skinny or fat. There's
Yeah,
no
there was no
curvy,
in-between.
there's no in between. You're either skinny or fat. And so then it was always like family, I think is good. Like I always was encouraged, like, oh, you look pretty or you look good. You know, back then it would be like, oh, you just big boned or whatever. Like what the hell is big bone?
I know. Now it's big bag. All right, I'm sorry.
No, you good. But no, they do be like, she's a big back. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
negative. But
Yeah, it's wild. It's negative.
so negative. But yeah, it's just thinking about like your weight and how you look and kind of fitting in things. And then the other day somebody posted about, I don't know, y'all remember Limited to?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
St. Charles Mall.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford it, but
Right, it was, yeah.
I remember walking by.
I remember looking at it like, every Saturday.
okay, sorry.
No, you good, because it's a throwback and looking at the little magazines and stuff like that. But I remember like not being able to wear like the short, because it's just too like you can wear the skinny girls can wear the shorts and they look good, but if you look curvy, whatever, it's like all your stuff is out.
Yeah.
So it's like not being able to wear certain things, and I think that for me is like starting to think being body conscious or self conscious about how I look. That's
Yeah.
definitely like one of my first experiences with like self esteem.
I'm glad you mentioned body conscious, and it's all going to tie together, I promise. But I know in episode 1, I talked a lot about being shy. And Rhea, you just brought up like, oh, people react to self-esteem things and they don't even know that they're having these symptoms. And a part of mine is the shyness, right? Which I don't understand, because you just said the same thing, Tanisha. Like everybody looks at you like, they want these things. They're like, you have this bubbly personality. How can you be shy? You work the room. Your goal is relationship building. Like, you are that person. And all those things, as I get older, I definitely can accept them. However, my biggest thing was always acne. It's been on my face. It's on my body. It's one of those things that I will always be self-conscious about until somebody comes and slaps me. It's like, girl, we all got it, and that's fine.
That was your virtual slap.
As long as it was virtual, okay? Because you was in the room. For real.
Job.
But no, seriously, like that has always been my thing. And you would think like growing up that was just a young thing. But in 2019, I had a really bad breakout. And not only was I suffering from that, I was also suffering from a really bad relationship. And so you then think like all these things are connected. Like, am I not attractive because I now have this horrible acne breakout, and is this why this person is doing these things to me? And then it just brings you back to that childhood moment when you were in school and people were like, oh, she got a pie face or a pizza face, whatever they used to call it back then. And then now, graciously enough, God was like, girl, we're going to take it from your face. But now it's on my back, okay? So we got to pick a side. And it's like one of those things where I don't wear a lot of backless things. So if y'all follow me on social media, I had that dress on yesterday. I'm growing. But it's one of those places where that is why I struggle. And that, outside of like anything else, is what creates a lot of like, I think, insecurities for me. Like, I don't walk in the room with a man and be like, let's do this. Like, yeah, that is part of the warm up for me, because I want to feel comfortable in what I'm doing, because I now have to get comfortable in this space. And now I feel like I'm telling y'all too much, so I'm just going to agree.
It ain't too much.
But
I got that same gripe with acne, because I'm stage 4 cystic. You're cystic, stage 4. Oh,
I had bad hormonal at that time.
Okay.
But the face is, like I said, the face is fine. Urban Skin RX holds me down. The routine is easy. I know I have sensitive skin. I know some things that impact that. I don't think now I'm not non-human, right? Like this bad person, and God gave you this thing. I know that things impact that, what you eat, drink, all those things. But the body one is hard. It's just I tried. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. I think it was interesting what you were saying about people commenting like on your body, and you too, Lex, Tanisha, what you were saying. Because I think I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. It was always flat. Even I always look very childlike. Even now, people will say
you
like,
look like a baby in this picture.
people would say like, oh, I mean, people now will be like, oh, you must be 20. Let me card you. But like, when you're 12, you don't want to look 7.
Right.
Right. And I think throughout my like preteen and teenage years, I dealt with like a lot of rejection because of I was so flat and so like, I don't know, I guess child looking. I don't know. So that was a source of contention for me, and also like the whole "you're white," like you sound white. That used to kind of bother me because I'm pretty pro-black, and I've always been very like hyper conscious because my dad is like he was really into politics and things. So I've always been like that. So for people to be like calling me white girl and you talk white and things like that was kind of like jarring, because it's people, at the end of the day, I think the through line is people telling you about you when you don't necessarily see yourself in that same way. And it's almost like, am I wrong?
Right. You start to question yourself.
Maybe I'm not seeing myself correctly. And I think that like cognitive dissonance is what causes is like the root of that self-esteem thing.
I guess the question that really need to be asked in 2024 is like, who cares? What is sounding white? Could you sound proper? I mean, back then we didn't go that deep into it, but I work in corporate America, and it's like they say the same thing, like, oh, that must be your white girl voice, when people are like working, like if I'm working from home and they hear me like on Zoom or something, and it's like, no, this,
so
it's my voice.
So when I think about like through lines today, I don't think deeply about like, do I sound white, do I sound black, because I do think people now, it's a little bit more nuanced. I literally do not sound like a white woman.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I don't feel like that. I'm not flat. Even if I was flat,
we know that.
But even if I was, like, that's a beautiful thing. Or if you're voluptuous and curvy, that's a beautiful thing. But I do think the sense of rejection probably still is a through line. Like, if I feel that I'm being rejected in any space, I don't know that I handle it well.
Yeah, and I cannot say I do either. I probably handle it well, and channel your day to day are probably two different things. But yeah, rejection. Okay, we can go there.
Yeah, I would say that would be the through line. Not necessarily the actual, like, oh, you're too flat and you sound white. Like, I don't care about that now as an adult. But being rejected, I think, was like would be like a trigger. Yeah. Essentially.
And that probably still sits with you today, regardless of what the rejection is aligned to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And people don't even know how to talk to be worried about who talk like what.
But I think that was a part of the joke, right? It was
No, I
like
got
you
you.
grow up and
Yeah.
they like, hold up, you're speaking proper and you
Yeah.
sound like this. Like my little brother was the same way growing up, and my mom used to be like, oh, look at him, he's so proper. And I'm like, girl,
yeah, that's the thing.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But that's what I said. That was the first
Pacific,
moment,
yeah.
but that
It's
is
not
not
specific.
the moment.
Pacific.
Yeah, that couldn't or wouldn't hurt my feelings at this point.
Yeah.
But like that was the first. So I guess just thinking about like through lines, you know, how does your first moment connect to when you have self-esteem issues today?
Yeah. Well, I just gave y'all all of that for me. So
Yeah,
here
same.
we are. And history's repeating itself, so here we are again with. But that's another conversation. Well, I guess like you asked that question, and we talked about the first time and the through lines. But like the other question is like, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you combat it day in and day out? I don't know, like Tanisha, like if you had a client in this system, like how would you tell them to channel that and deal with that?
The thing I was thinking about what you said was I realized that I wasn't the only one like dealing with acne. Like it wasn't just me. And I think that's a powerful thought, because usually when you're having insecurities, you're just like in yourself, or you're isolated and you're like, I'm just going through this.
Yeah.
But when you're able to look at others, and even I think about like social media, like y'all talked about that, even though it has its downfalls, I think when coming back to like body positivity and like looking at different shapes, you see people look like all kinds of ways. And then you see plus size girls killing it, wearing different things. And you're like, oh shit, like I'm not the only one that looks like this and can wear these different things. And so you start to feel better about yourself because you see it's not just you going through it. Or if you're talking about it and your friend is like, oh yeah, I don't really like this about my body. Like, oh, you think you have
you got
insecure-
issues too,
Yeah,
girl? Come on, let's get in there and
oh.
talk about that.
Right. Like, so then you have a connection, so you don't feel so alone or odd that you have this thing going on with you. So I think with clients is letting them know that it's okay that you got this insecurity. Like everybody has insecurities. And so then it's like not getting stuck, because we talked about the two. So like everybody has self-esteem, but some people don't get stuck in theirs. Like they can move away from the thoughts. So it's about how do we move away and reframe and restructure our thoughts to think differently. Like, yeah, I don't like my body, or I don't like my skin, but I can do XYZ, or I do like my hair, or I do like these things. And so finding positivity in other things, and also knowing that you can change too. Like you can change your weight, or you can also like change your skin. You can do different things. And so it doesn't have to always be this way.
Yeah.
So the getting rid of like the hopeless feeling of like, this is just who I am, and like I don't like it. But yeah, okay, that's good that you admit that and you express that you don't like it. But then we can also kind of change those things that you don't like, and we can also maybe sometimes embrace them too. Like, this is who you are.
I think the embracing is important, and the reason I say that is because I know I talked about the makeup thing, but like that is one thing I don't know how to do. And part of it was like I don't want to make my skin worse than what it is, so I've never even wanted to like be the person to cover the scars and do the thing. Like I get my makeup done for like special occasions, but day in and day out, I'm a lashes girl, and maybe some eyeliner when the lashes is low vibrations like this week. But I don't know how to do makeup. And a part of it is like I never wanted to really take away from that look. As embarrassing as it's been to like show up in places and your face is just completely broken out, I'd rather that than try to change how I look. Like that has never been the thing for me. I'm not into plastic surgery, and shout out to the people that are, but like that's never been my thing. Like I'd rather just deal with it. And when I get to a point of like, okay, for me this feels disgusting, like my weight, I got a trainer, because like now these are things you want to focus on, but for me I have to feel that thing. And I think a part of it is like now I'm at an age where we even said this too, like I no longer care what the people think, right? It's about how do I feel about myself. So now if I feel uncomfortable about it, I gotta do something about it.
Right.
I gotta do something about it. And so, I mean, but if the makeup girls want to show me how to do makeup, we can do that now. But, however, I just really think that altering the thing that you don't like is not going to change the thing
emotion,
that you don't like.
Yeah.
You're still going to have that thing that you don't like.
Yeah, it just sweeps it under the rug a bit further and makes it a little harder to reach.
Yep.
And then, you know, you look in the mirror and ask yourself, like, am I okay? And then it's so deep under that carpet. Sometimes, you know, you get that false sense of self-esteem, and you feel like I am okay. If I just tell myself that, I'll just believe it. I am okay. I want to talk about something that y'all touched on. You know, Tanisha, you said when you make the point that people are not alone. Community is very important. And granted, there are so many different types of communities. We touched on that a bit before, but I definitely think that community is very important.
Yeah,
Very important.
I agree. Like, even with our friendship with the acne thing, right? So, like, me and Lex have struggled with that, and she ain't tell y'all, but she is obviously in aesthetics, and she's worked on faces, and she does facials, and she had to do her thing too. But, like, those were things that we found community in talking about, right?
Absolutely.
Day in and day out. And, like, Rhea's our friend, and she didn't look at us and be like, girl, my face is beautiful. Like, I ain't got to worry about that. Like, she naturally still was with us on that journey, and that was a journey in itself. But I think it's really important. And I know, like, we want to talk about, like, how friends impact this and your friends with self-esteem, but, like, that's an important thing. And I'm sorry, we are all women. We all get self-esteem issues at time of the month, and I don't care what y'all say.
That is true.
Like, you be feeling like you look like Shrek. You don't want to go outside. Like, something's up. Like,
It's the hormones too.
you don't want to
It's
wear
science.
certain clothes, or like, you're just like, maybe I'm too in my, like, something is up around that time, and that is, like, heightened for me, for sure.
Well, the body is amazing, and it does amazing
true thing.
things. So, I mean, I am a practitioner, a massage therapist, so I've done studies on anatomy, obviously going to massage school and even in aesthetic school. But I'm, you know, day to day I learn more and more about the body and how it functions, and my goal is just to continue to work and bring that together. But the body is amazing. The body does things you could never even imagine. So, like, your chemical balance inside of your shell, inside of your body, when you are going through that time of the month, is insane. Like, you can literally go from just being regular to being a psychopath. And it took me years to acknowledge the way that my cycle has affected me. Because I was like, oh, I'm cool. You know, I don't cramp. I've never, ever cramped. So I'm like, oh, that's a plus.
Shout out to you.
Okay, please.
That's a blessing.
Take me on the stretcher.
So, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm good. But listen, nowadays at 34 years old, when that cycle come around,
It
y'all
changes,
be
right?
knowing.
Yeah, it changes
Rhea
when
and
you
Tyler,
age
they
it.
know.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hold up, you was a little snappy.
Calm
I have
down.
no patience for life right now.
That is
Yeah,
true.
it changes as you get older, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm not here to say self-esteem only lies within body and face and all those things. It could be like you don't know how to work a room. You go in there and you're scared to talk, and you're scared about how people might look at you, and just because you're just in this space and being present. So it resonates in a lot of
And
different
men
ways.
have self-esteem issues too, and they
With
don't
those little
have
micro
any.
piece. Okay, I'm sorry. we been serious, my bad. Yeah.
But no, and they don't have periods, so
Yeah,
there's
they
that.
do have self-esteem.
But do they have periods?
I think they get symptoms, and I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I will go to school to study that.
If men have periods.
Yeah, like something happens. They get a chemical imbalance too. And I don't know what
But
it
their
is.
periods don't be once a month. It'd be like within
Once
like
a week?
No, it'd be
Y'all talking like
like
hormonal? Like
Yeah,
they
I don't know, but it'd
I'm
be
just
like
talking
they'll
trash.
spend like some years in
Some
like
men need taking
space,
attention.
like months and years. Yes, in
In
a
a
space.
space, yeah.
And then they'll come back.
Yeah.
And then they'll go back. And then they'll come back. But like, yeah.
Well, at least y'all don't bleed, so shout out to y'all.
like
Okay,
you
I'd rather have that. Okay.
You need therapy.
Well, I would say that's a whole other conversation.
that sounds like
But
something else.
hashtag Black men need therapy. It's okay, guys. It's okay.
And we
all
love
do.
y'all black men.
We didn't have no reinforcement on that.
No.
I
Just
love
we
the black
do.
men.
We love y'all.
We love
My
y'all.
father's
We
black.
do.
My brother's black.
I mean,
You know, I love all the black men out
do,
there.
but it's hard.
but it's not
we love
because.
them.
Yeah, it's not because we don't love black men, but it be so cliche.
Yeah.
I love my black men. Like we know
Protect
better.
black men, guys.
Cliche don't make it
But
false.
I think it on the other side too. I'm not gonna lie, like the protect black women. We love, like, all right, just love everybody.
I think
like,
we get it. We do love
get
y'all.
it.
Y'all love us.
We got the
understand
message.
It's
it.
so much love.
But in order for us to really love each other, we got to work on ourselves.
We do. And then I think that was a good point of that you can't just kind of wash away things. Like you really have to confront them and have to like have self-love, because you can
Yes.
fix things about yourself. You can
Yes.
lose the weight. But if you truly don't love yourself or look at
Yes.
yourself, then it's not going to seem good. You're always going to be achieving to like look better, look different, or fix something or change something. So
It's a
really,
cycle.
yeah, it's a cycle. So really finding self-love is a journey. But it's possible. Like you can love yourself in the state that it is. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. Like you can look in the mirror and be like, I really love who I am. But it takes time to get there.
I was gonna say that. It's not easy.
It's
but
not easy. It takes time. But when you get there, I think the changing yourself is just kind of like, you know, an add-on. Like it's not like the fixer. It's not like this is gonna fix. I'm just gonna really love myself now. It's like, okay, I already love myself, but this is gonna kind of enhance it. So yeah.
And
Yeah.
people don't like put two and two together with the fact that like everything is a matter of perspective. You know, think about 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 6 months ago. You know, your views on one thing, how a particular moment in time or event or whatever, things change, and I'm learning that day to day. Like I know I mentioned in last episode about the relationships that, you know, things shouldn't change much, but honestly, I that's my perspective. Like I think that things shouldn't change in the realm of like intention. You know, we love each other. That is the base. That is the foundation. You know, we have these goals and we're going to move toward this, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it should stay the same. Nothing should change, but things factually change.
Yeah.
Because stuff happens. You know, you tell your higher power what you're going to do, and they will shut you down in a minute if that's not the plan. So, you know, the way you think about things truly just shapes everything. And
Yeah.
it's just change your mind. Like,
Yeah, that's
so
a powerful,
in
yeah.
a way, you can tell yourself, like, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I am beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I am worthy, I attract abundance. You can tell yourself all these things, and depending on your heart, depending on your intention, depending on your energy and your spirit, you know, those things may come to pass or not. But
Yeah.
that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I do believe that like the thoughts impact your feelings. So even if you don't believe it in the moment, thinking positively, like I do like my hair or I do like something, makes the feeling like, okay, I feel good. Because like the negative thinking isn't helpful and it doesn't make you feel good and it makes you feel sad and you like go into a spiral. But if you find something or think or restructure your thinking, it does make you feel, maybe it should make you feel the thoughts are connected to your emotions. You feel differently. So you don't get stuck in the rut of just like, woe is me.
Yeah.
Hopefully that you kind of pull yourself out of it. But it's practice of like changing your thinking and changing your thoughts. Because sometimes people don't, like we said earlier, don't even know that they're thinking these things. You have to really be conscious of your thoughts. So
Yeah, I agree. And I think both leading us to our next one, because we just touched on that, but like, how do you handle if your friends have these issues?
Yeah.
Like, for example, or partners, but like, we definitely talked about like period time and this time, and you know, we've all hung out at some point in time, and it's like getting ready and somebody's like, I don't like this. I don't want to show my legs. My stomach is out. I don't want to do this thing. Like, how do y'all handle
I'm
that?
ugly.
Yeah,
or
I say that all the time, by the way.
But when
that's
people,
my thing.
but if a friend says it and means it, like they believe.
How you know
that.
I'll be mean I'm ugly? I'm giving her ugly face. How you know?
You ain't ugly. Shut up.
How you know I don't believe that?
Do you?
Let me tell you something. Do you wake up, how many days out of the week do you wake up and think that you ugly?
Probably 5 out of 7.
That's a damn lie.
Wait, is it?
I know, because I think I always be like,
I
I'm
don't
ugly.
believe it.
Like really think it, like think it, believe
Well,
it.
nowadays you got some
where y'all
goals that you
going
want to
with it,
work
but
on,
I do
but
always be like, dang, girl, you alright.
But I guess you know when your friend is like joking or you.
Yeah, I got.
Because Lex just said something earlier and y'all just joked about it.
Joking.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, and it was like,
It
this is
was-
kind of weird.
you were like, hold on now.
And we didn't know.
But
she
that's
was
your
serious.
energy. Like that's
Yeah.
like she's not, you know. So
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I was just joking. But sometimes you really don't know. Sometimes, like Lex could have been super serious as she was coming and saying, like,
I think she
feels
was.
this way, and we were
But
like,
it was
girl,
kind of
bye.
like in yeah, that is okay. So the question was like, how do you deal with it? I do think it depends on the friend, the moment, all of that. I think in that moment. Well, do we say the moment? Because we were talking around the like. Now it's weird. All right.
Now I
So
get- I
see
get
what
you.
had happened was. You gotta tell the moment. It was your moment, and then I'll tell my moment.
Okay.
I went in the bathroom for a second and I looked in the mirror and I liked the jumpsuit I got on, so I was like, I think this is picture worthy. And I tried to take a picture in the bathroom. Y'all didn't even know, and I didn't like none of them.
That was the
pre-
what did your best friends do?
That was the
Not I'm trash.
No, but that was the prereq to what I said, and I was just
I'm
like,
sorry.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because
But-
it looks good.
It does.
Thank you.
Yes.
To be honest, I do think I look great right now. I think I'm styling in my own little way.
Oh.
I'm good, but it was
Styling.
just, it blew me because I couldn't get the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
No,
felt
we
it,
all
so-
we have all been there.
Yeah, that is true. You think you look
Yeah.
good, and you look at the camera like, damn.
Like
And I
I
think I
really,
say-
I really wish that
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
y'all could see what I see in the
But I
perspective
do
that
see it.
like you,
I
We
see
do
it.
or
see it.
how
How
about
about
the camera?
this? We
I
wish you
that
could see
Apple.
What we see.
Yeah.
Touche. You know, I'm a rapper. This is Tyler and me. I'm a rapper.
You see?
Buy my album. You know, mixtape coming soon. Oh my god.
It's not a sex episode. Like, chill.
She clearly
I
is
need
a
some
lot.
sex.
Oh my god.
Gotta help my self-esteem right now.
Oh, let's talk about
See,
that.
girl talk with
See,
us
no,
now.
that's where
Oh,
we need to
listen,
go.
We about to be.
The
Sexy time makes me feel real sexy, especially when that thing be banging, and then I get that confirmation.
But back to the moment.
It's like,
Let's go back.
Anyway,
So
so
you-
you came in
yes.
and said,
Yeah, I said that. I said
No,
that. I was just like, I said I'm fat and I'm well, whatever. What did I say?
yeah,
Hold on, I got exactly
Okay.
what
Oh,
she
you
said.
got
She
it.
said,
So
we know Tyler remember. That's what Marie was about to say.
Word for
Yes.
word.
receipts.
She was like, period.
What'd I say?
Now y'all know. But no, you was like, oh my God, I need to stop eating. I just been eating so much this week. Like, I'm so big.
Yes.
And Rhea was like, yes, you are.
And I had no quarrel.
And you was like, I know, like, I just need to stop eating. And I'm going to say now, I always hate when you say that, but you already know.
Yes,
that.
it was
It's
so
so
said very
annoying.
sarcastically,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I'm
well,
not
like, what are we
serious.
supposed to say in this
Like,
moment? We
yeah.
do not agree. We're not actually
Yeah.
going to agree with you.
Never.
You look fine. Nothing is
Always.
wrong. You look good. I don't know what to say. So yeah. What do you want me to say?
This just got
So
real,
that was the answer to the question. What did you say? I don't know what to say.
In real
I think for
life.
me, I always deflect with jokes. I think in
Okay.
real life, unless I'm like in a mood where I'm angry, like, and I'm upset and I'm mad, which can happen about like maybe 6 times a year. But the other times a year, I'm always joking like, girl, shut up.
But I think
Shut up.
in reflect, not to cut you off, Tyler, but like in reflection, I do feel bad because I'm like, dang, you were having a moment in real life, like a real, like, damn, I don't look how I want to look in this moment. And I'm being silly, like, yeah, you don't. But really, that would have been a moment for me to affirm you and say,
Like,
no,
girl,
you
you
look
are
good.
beautiful.
Like,
Yeah.
and I didn't take that moment. And now I'm like reflecting, like,
I just want to let you know, as my best friend, that I didn't take offense to anything. Cause
I know you didn't take offense, but in
know.
terms of how we were just talking about, like, you tell yourself these positive affirmations, it's also like our job as friends to affirm you. even if like we're not taking it seriously, even if we're like, girl, hush, like that's really not our place.
Because on one hand, I got like 3 things to say.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, the affirmation piece is important. Not lying. Don't lie.
Yeah.
No, true.
Affirmation, truth is important because there's depression and then there's suicide, and you don't want to add to that in any particular way. But the other part is like, if your friend don't look good, you should probably say that too. Like I know me and Rhea, we joke about this a lot. It's like, you don't ever want to be out, right? And your friend look a mess, and it's like, who are your friends? Like, at some point you gotta be like, bro, what do you got on? Like, no.
Being honest.
I know y'all seen Say the Last Dance when Kerry Washington
when she was
hooked my
like,
girl up. She
yeah,
was like, no, get in this car, and we're gonna get you together. And I think like that is also affirming your friends too. Not, yeah, we all beautiful, yeah, we all look good, but babe, if we going out, you can't wear that thing or look that way, and you can say that too. I think as a group of friends,
Yeah, it's
you
about
should be able
delivery.
to
The way you say that,
too.
you gotta be
Yeah.
mindful of the way you say it.
Yeah, I agree.
I also think about, did y'all see the videos some months ago, maybe earlier this year, where the girl was on TikTok and she was talking about how when she goes out with her friends, they get guys and she doesn't. And she feels...
tap into
Yeah, you
it.
remember? And she feels really like low because every time they go out, they get all of these guys, and the only guys that come to her are like older guys who aren't attractive. And
But
so,
do they got money?
that's a good question.
She gotta start asking
so
appropriate questions.
It's all about perspective, right? But she was just saying like her friends are gorgeous and she's not, and so some people were empathetic with her, like, yeah, I might experience the same. Other people was like, girl, get over it, like it's not that serious, like you need to do XYZ, put yourself up. So I think that was a good comment, kind of reminded me of that, because I remember I brought it to my friends, and my friends weren't really empathetic. They were just like, she need to just she wants a sad story, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna piggyback on that. I do think that the idea of going out to get somebody or to have attention on you, you were already messed up. You've already messed the moment up. Like, I don't go out with the idea now. I have been at CBC week. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
what I'm
find my
saying,
husband
like,
outside.
yeah.
But it's like really and truly, like, I am not in my apartment getting dressed with the idea like I better meet somebody, and if somebody don't talk to me, my night is ruined. I do know girls like that. That is not my stilo, and I think that is where you mess up. Because then if you do go out and like you just said, this girl, like all your friends getting this attention, now you feel low. That will never, I'm sorry, it will never mess up my vibe. And I'm not saying I don't have sympathy for her, because she probably does feel ugly or feel this way, but I do think like you've already messed up the moment. Like the moment needs to be you going out with your friends, having a good time. Whatever happens in that moment, happens in that moment. But I will say I've been in those moments where it changes the mood when somebody doesn't feel like they're getting what the other people are getting, and now the mood is low, and it's like, bro, we didn't come out for this. We can buy our own drinks. We can have our own good time. Like what
happens in those moments? How do you react, or like how do you address the moment?
I'm just like I just said, girl, we not worried about them niggas.
Okay.
We are not worried about them. It's okay. And for the most part, it's like, in those moments, I'm not thinking like somebody just met their husband, so it's not like, oh my God, you're ugly and she just met her husband. Like, ooh, like, I don't know. I just feel like that is not the moment for me to be like sad. And I've been out with my friends and I don't get approached. All y'all just clearly told me I'm not ugly, so what I'm supposed to do? Like, it's a moment.
Yeah.
And sometimes the people in there is not my people, and that's okay. And I'm not their person, I guess. But,
Yeah, because it's been plenty of times we went out, guys approached y'all, and I was like, man, I'm glad these niggas ain't coming to me.
What?
No, well, you know, I'm super picky. Super. I got a quote unquote type, but
Your people don't be in the room.
they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, so I was seconding. I was second.
yeah.
I was. Is that a word? Seconding. I second.
You second.
What you said.
You ain't got your proper voice on.
Yeah.
Fuck
I think
that proper
that's
voice.
That's a good perspective, because I think that also comes from.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, it's time to cut.
No, you good.
No.
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying just a little bit that having also a solid like self-esteem, like being confident in yourself. Because if you already feel kind of shitty about yourself, and then you go out and then your friends are, then you automatically going to be like, well, they're getting that attention because of this. And even though it may not even be about that, like you said, but you know, you're internalizing it as such. So it's helpful to already kind of have, again, that self-love or that confidence about yourself to help with that. But
Tanisha, I'm glad you said that, because that's what I was thinking about when everybody was talking, in terms of when I go out, if I feel my best, I feel my best. Like, I feel good. Like, a man could come up to me, not come up to me, stand aside. Hey, I look good.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
When I don't look good, I don't look good. I know I don't look good. Like,
but you're also not downing the moment because you don't look good. You've owned,
but I know I don't look good.
Okay.
We out here.
and that's really the vibe.
We drunk and ugly. Let's go.
Not we drunk and ugly.
No, I think.
Oh, that could be on a t-shirt.
Oh, period. I think so. Bachelorette weekend, somebody get married.
We drunk and ugly.
What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, we out here.
No, I think that is extremely important. Like, it goes back to also what I said, like affirming, like, yes, you look great, and also affirming you don't look great. Both apply. But we have a lot of content here, and I think these next two questions are very important. So we're gonna remix it for y'all. Y'all can get what y'all get. However,
it's gonna be an interesting one.
How do partners influence self-esteem issues? Or do they like help it? Do they hurt it? I mean, obviously, you should probably get a partner that affirms you too. I think that's what we all would like, love and appreciate. But you think both, Lex? Why?
I just forgot what I was going to say, but it was a point that Ree made earlier. What? Skip me.
Okay.
Yeah. It just went and came and went. So
I'll just like really quick just say I think that it depends on the people, the partner, the situation, where you are in your relationship. But I do think I touched on this earlier in my moment. Like, if you are at a low moment in yourself and it just gets lower in your relationship, it does impact like your self-esteem issues. It's like it's affirming it without them saying what you already think it is. And I would hope that everybody has a partner that makes them feel beautiful. But I will say, I've had a lot of partners that be like, Tyler, you are beautiful. And I've still been like, oh, God, I look a mess right now. Like, I can't do this thing, or I can't look like this, or I can't wear this. And they're like, bro, what's up with you? So I think I've had both. And I just think that, I don't know. I think it goes back to what we've all been saying. Like, you have to feel that. Like, friend, partner, foe, family, whoever it is, like, you got to feel it, because nobody can make you feel that way. Like, people can tell you things all day, but if you aren't there with them, sorry guys, if you aren't there with them, then it's not resonating. It's never going to resonate, and you're still going to feel the way you feel.
And you know, you just brought up something that made me think about a thing. In my very first relationship, I was never told that I was beautiful. And that was,
you want me to go smack him?
Oh, I didn't listen. Anyway.
Like, that's over and done.
Yeah, but no, that was damn near a 10-year relationship. And I was not told. I was like lacking so much to the point where I literally I felt like I escaped that relationship because I was not getting anything I needed. And I was in it because I was young. It was my very first relationship. First boyfriend, first everything. Everything. And I don't know, I was, yeah, but that was terrible. And I think you go through different points of discovery in your life. So you can kind of, that was a point for me where I had to rediscover myself because I lost myself. You know, I had to remind myself that I am beautiful, and it's not because, you know, somebody else told me, but because I feel like that.
So can I build on that?
Yeah.
So in that relationship, you didn't feel beautiful, and then you came out of it and you came on top, and you're like, I'm so beautiful. However, no, seriously. Yeah, I've been at CBC week. It's crazy. I ain't got no voice. However, but do you think that confidence could have hurt another relationship?
Wait.
You can give the people what you want. I'm just asking you a question.
Repeat it one more
I
time.
think it did.
Yeah, please. Wait.
So,
It could have.
It could
Do you
have.
I would
feel
just
like-
say this without. I'm saying the question without telling her story for her.
Okay.
However, it's like she was in a relationship once where she felt low, and then she came out of that and she felt extremely on top. But then if you have a partner that is insecure or not confident in how you feel, that can make them feel some type of way that you are this confident person because now they
And they
think
can't
that
relate. They can't
they think
support
that you're
how
out
I'm
here
feeling.
doing these things and all these things and you're trying to be noticed and you're trying to be seen, when in reality you were escaping a situation and now you are now feeling this empowered person, but you don't have a partner that speaks to that.
It changed a lot. A lot changed. It then put me in a position where I was again having to choose between how I felt and how he felt. And my history is not choosing me.
As your
Unfortunately,
friend,
my history is
Yeah.
not choosing me, and that is very unfortunate. But again, every situation is a learning situation.
Yeah.
My next situation, I pray I don't go back into that, you know, because anything can change. Even me sitting here saying I'm so confident and I love myself and all that, like, I mean, it just takes a matter of perspective.
Yeah, that's
In the
a
moment.
good one. Yeah, because I feel like when feelings are involved, you again like you start to question yourself and you think, well, maybe it is me, or maybe something is wrong with me, and maybe I need to change. And like you said, putting your own feelings first, you put the other person, because like I'm trying to help like appease the situation or make the situation better, but in reality, it isn't anything that you're doing. It's like the other person's insecurities.
Yeah. What y'all gonna leave the people with?
I'll say this: we left you guys with a lot of information about ourselves, what we think, our perspectives, blah blah blah. But if you guys are ever feeling like you want to quit and give up, I just encourage you to get help, for sure. A lot of people are gonna like listen to this, and it's gonna touch them and affect them in a way that we may not be able to relate to. So, you know, if you guys are feeling like you can't take it anymore, or, you know, just life is hard and you want to give up, just please seek help. Seek somebody that is qualified to give you what you need. And it may come in the form of a child. It may come in the form of a child giving you confirmation. It may come in the form of a stranger walking down the street. But just don't give up, y'all. Life is precious. And love yourself more than anything or anybody in the world. Because we love y'all.
Okay, girl.
Drops mic.
Yeah. So you got
Yeah, I was saying.
All right, well,
yeah,
well,
like-
I think we got to do what we do every time. Everybody got to plug their social. But first, we're going to start with our guest because she definitely let you guys know she's a mixologist. She
Okay.
has a podcast. She's a therapist. So I think you guys definitely need to follow her.
Okay, so follow me at Tanisha VM. That's like my cocktails. If you want to mix it up a little bit, follow me there. And then for my podcast, it's Champagne Sunday Podcast. It's also on Instagram. We on a little hiatus, but it's okay. It's a lot of content for you to catch up on. So go ahead and click on to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that good stuff, and you can catch up for sure.
You lit.
Thanks.
Awesome,
I appreciate
awesome.
it. Thank you for inviting me. This was definitely a vibe.
Of course.
Thank you. I really enjoyed myself. Good conversation. as
Love
always.
that. And as always, follow the Art of Girl Talk _ on Instagram. Follow Buzzsprout. We'll post the link. Like, subscribe, rate us, all the good things. We love feedback. And personal page, Tyler E on Instagram.
Alexis _nonstop.
Ria Loren, RIAHLAHREN.